Congratulations, Erika Slezak.
On March 17, Erika Slezak celebrated her 40th anniversary as Victoria Lord Davidson on One Life to Live.
Here's to you, Erika.
Next on Lifetime's Intimate Portrait.
I'm flying! Freeze, bozo!
For more than 30 years, daytime diva Erika Slezak has reigned supreme on One Life to Live.
I will tell you up front, I am the luckiest person on this earth.
I'll tell ya!
On screen, multiple personalities,
I knew you were the person I was going to spend the rest of my life with.
multiple husbands.
She's easy to fall in love with, and we have sex everywhere.
Off camera, a happily married mother of two.
She's never allowed work to interfere with her family.
Born into show business, Erika dreamed of following her famous father to the footlights.
Oh, I wanted to be just like him.
Oh, she loved her father so much.
But when her father discouraged her ambitions, Erika was determined to prove him wrong.
I said, what did you think? And he said, you're not very good.
While on the edge of success, a heartbreaking tragedy.
He went outside and shot himself.
And the Emmy goes to
Her devotion to her craft would win her multiple Emmys.
Erika Slezak.
And the first thing they say is, so how does it feel? You beat Susan again.
A story of one woman's quest to cast off her father's shadow and make her own name.
Way down the line, I'm an actress who happens to have a damn good job and has kept this job for a long time.
This is Lifetime's intimate portrait of Erika Slezak. Lifetime's Intimate Portrait, hosted by Meredith Vieira.
For over 30 years, she has driven into work every day from a pretty average suburban life, never knowing what in the world will happen to her. Will one of her multiple personalities rear its ugly head? Will the man of her dreams put her daughter's life in jeopardy? Well, it's all in a day's work for Erika Slezak, better known as Victoria Lord Davidson, the reigning matriarch of One Life to Live. So how does a teenager become a star, even though she was told by a great actor that she had no talent? Well, here's a hint. It has a lot to do with who that actor was. But I'll let Erika Slezak tell you about it. This is her story, her words.
What is it?
It's a tape. This is what your sister was using to blackmail you. Got all the proof on it, and it's yours.
Oh, Bobby, am I glad I saved your life.
Yeah, me.
In 1983, Erika Slezak was appearing as Victoria Lord Buchanan on the ABC soap opera One Life to Live.
Not out of this room.
She played a wealthy newspaper heiress who suffered from a split personality. Critics and fans loved to watch her fall apart.
Now you say goodbye to the rest of your house, Victor Lord.
Her exceptional performances were about to make her one of daytime's most celebrated and enduring faces. Then, on April 21st, Erika received shocking news. Her father, Walter Slezak, a world-renowned actor, had taken his own life.
I got a phone call at 11 o'clock at night from my mother, hysterical. He had killed himself.
In the wake of her father's death, Erika was nominated for her first Emmy.
And he would have been just stunned by that.
Ever since she was a girl, Erika dreamed of becoming an actress and was eager to prove herself in the eyes of her father. Her success seemed preordained, for she was born in the shadow of Hollywood on August 5th, 1946. Little did she know that she was heir to one of the great theatrical dynasties of the time. Erika's grandfather, Leo Slezak, was a world-famous opera singer from Vienna, Austria.
In those days, opera stars were like the rock stars of today. People would run down the street screaming after them, and they would be throngs of people outside the opera door.
By the time Erika was born, her father was a well-established character actor of stage and screen.
You tell head office that when I make a picture and not a snapshot.
If you want to watch great acting, watch Walter Slezak. He's the quintessential, multi-versatile character actor.
I have reached the end of my patience. I'm giving you 30 seconds.
My father was much larger than life. Everything about him was big. He was physically big, but his humor was big. He had great knowledge, great sophistication.
Erika's mother, Johanna von Rijn, was a budding Dutch opera singer who gave up her own career soon after she married Erika's father.
He said, we can't have two careers. An opera career takes you all over the world. So she gave up her career for him. He was everything my mother needed. He was bright, funny, interesting, spoke languages, was perfectly willing to take care of her for the rest of his life.
Walter and Johanna had 3 children, Ingrid, Erika, and Leo. Erika was the classic middle child.
I spent my life trying to make my parents happy. As a middle child, or even as a second child, you look at what the first child does and you say, oop, okay, parents got angry with them because they did. I won't do that. I'll do the opposite, and I'll be the favorite.
From an early age, Erika wanted to win the approval of her boisterous father.
I was my father's favorite child, because if he said, somebody get me a, and I'd be out of the chair before he finished the sentence. I'll do it, I'll do it.
Growing up in a strict but comfortable household, Erika and her siblings spoke German at home, and despite her father's fame, Erika had little interaction with the Hollywood crowd.
I think my father did that intentionally. I think he sensed that that was not the healthiest atmosphere. It wasn't good to introduce children to that too young.
But Erika couldn't help but be intrigued by her father's day job.
I wanted to be an actor. Oh, I wanted to be just like him and be on the stage and sing songs. And I made certain that I was in his favor all the time.
In 1954, when Erika was 8, her father won a leading role in the Broadway musical Fanny, and he decided to move the family to New York permanently. They bought a house in Larchmont, New York, a posh suburb just outside of Manhattan.
They had great friends from the opera world, famous. And he knew people in politics and in business, and they would come to the house and they would have these wonderful kind of evenings. It sounded very glamorous.
But the glamorous life came at an expense. Due to her father's nomadic lifestyle as an actor, Erika had attended a handful of public and private schools. Then, in 1959, she finally settled down at the Convent of the Sacred Heart, an all-girls boarding school on the East Coast.
It was cloistered, and it was very, very strict, and you were not allowed off of the grounds unless you had a special permission and reason. So we tried to concoct reasons that we needed to leave. And we'd go into the Mayfair diner, and we'd sit there and pretend that we had British accents and talk about Erika being famous someday.
When she wasn't fantasizing about becoming famous, she tried her hand at the dating thing.
I had very few dates, and they were generally revenge dates. They were boys that couldn't take my sister out. So they would say, well, do you want to go?
We were dorks before there was a word for dork.
It was kind of dumpy and freckles and curly hair and very, very, very socially uncomfortable.
Active in the arts from an early age, Erika got serious about acting in high school, but her father did not approve.
My father kind of pulled me aside one day and said, I mean, is this for real, he said, or is this a joke? And I said, no, I want to be an actress. And he sat me down and he told me everything bad he could think about the business. And I was sort of a little shell-shocked.
Determined to prove that she was serious about becoming an actress, Erika took to the stage in school productions. One of her first roles was Henrietta Barrett in The Barretts of Wimpole Street. After the performance, her parents delivered a mixed review.
My father hadn't said anything, and my mother had done all the usual, oh, you look so beautiful, oh my goodness, so what a performance, what is that? And I finally said to my father, what did you think? And he said, seriously? And I said, yes. He said, you're not very good. And I thought, oh my God. And my mother, I could feel her whole, I mean, I was in the back seat and I could feel my mother's body go, just kind of sucked together. And he said, I have to tell you the truth. He said, you want to be an actress, and I always told you if I didn't think you were any good, I would be the first one to tell you because I don't want you to make a fool of yourself. He said, what I saw tonight was, I don't know that you have any talent.
Erika remained undeterred by her father's disparaging remarks, and she continued acting in plays. It wasn't until she was cast as Cy Young in the Lute Song that her discerning father acknowledged her potential as an actress.
He said to me, I was wrong. He said, You walked across the stage at one point, and he said, you broke my heart. And I thought, oh, well, good. Then this is something I can do.
With her father's blessing, Erika applied to drama schools in America and abroad.
He was the one who said, okay, but you're going to go to a proper training school. You're not going to just say, oh, I'm an actor's daughter, I can act, and get up there.
It was pretty apparent then that Erika's skill was certainly at a level that far exceeded anybody else.
She auditioned and was accepted to the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, a small prestigious school in London, England. In 1964, at the age of 17, Erika was one of the youngest students ever admitted.
And she did it with such poise and flair and just never any evidence that this was a remarkable or exceptional thing to do.
I can still see her, this 17-year-old girl. She had a being that was very strong and very warm.
Our first classes were speech. And the teacher, very, very British, Kate Fleming. She said, right, everyone's going to read a little bit of Winnie the Pooh. And then it came to me and I went, and Winnie the Pooh. And she said, stop. I said, yes. She said, you're American, aren't you? I said, yes. She said, well, not to worry. We'll take care of that. Next. Didn't even let me finish the sentence. I discovered that I had within myself a wealth of an emotional life that I was willing to let go, and that they teach you how to let it go.
In 1966, Erika graduated from the Royal Academy. Without a permit to work legally in England, she reluctantly headed back to New York.
My friends in London, they all said, well, you can marry an Englishman. Really couldn't find anybody to marry right then.
Coming up, Erika gets her big break on daytime television.
They said, what are you playing? And I said, Vicky. No, you're not.
And later, Erika meets the love of her life.
But he was married, and that was, you know, hands off.
Growing up in the shadow of her father, the legendary actor Walter Slezak, Erika spent her childhood continually looking to win his approval. By 1966, she had completed 2 years of theatrical training in London and returned to America, determined to make her mark in the theater. With her father's help, she found an agent and began to audition. Her classical training won her the lead in a small repertory company's production of the play Elektra.
And to my shame, I should say, I said, and this theater is where? And they said, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I went, oh, of course. And I went home and I thought, where's Milwaukee? Where's Wisconsin?
Erika found Milwaukee on a map and packed her bags. There, she put her classical training to the test.
At the very first rehearsal, the director went around talking to everybody before we started the read-through. And then he came to me and he said, oh, Erika, he said, you are Elektra and you cry all the way through. And of course, the first thing that happened, every tear just totally dried up, froze. I said, cry all the way through? Oh my God, how do I do that? And I went to my father and said, what do I do? How do you cry? He said, one way, he says, you can put me in the position of your father, of Agamemnon, and think of me, you know, being murdered in the bathtub. And then he sort of laughed and he said, well, it would have to be a damn big bathtub.
Erika learned how to cry on command and won rave reviews from local critics in Milwaukee.
My father carried these reviews around in his pocket for years. Anybody who, oh, look what it says. She's fabulous, she's brilliant, she's this, that, and the other. It turned out that the reviewer was a sports writer from Oshkosh who had just been hired by the paper. And he thought, I better write a good review, you know, to show that I know what I'm talking about.
In the next 3 years, she went on to appear in more than 20 plays in Milwaukee.
I was playing parts that nobody would have cast me for anywhere else because I was far too young.
In 1970, after working in repertory theaters in Milwaukee, Houston, and Chicago, Erika returned to New York City and moved in with her best friend from high school.
I called Polly and I said, I'm coming back. She said, oh, come and stay with us. Oh, we'll have such fun, we'll have such fun.
We were pretty packed in that apartment. It was a very New York experience to have 3 young women living in a 1-bedroom apartment with 1 bathroom and a tiny kitchen.
Sleeping kind of in a corner, you know, on a little mattress, but we had a ball.
Erika continued to look for acting jobs. Her agent got her an audition for a daytime soap opera.
He said, do you ever want to do a soap? And I said, hello, I want to work. It's a job, right? They pay money? Yes, I want to do it. He said, have you ever seen a soap? I said, no.
All the same, she went to the audition for the drama One Life to Live.
And the character was just somebody on the show, Vicky, somebody. I was doing a scene between Vicky and Steve. I knew nothing about it. I went and I did the audition. I've never seen faces like that at the end. They all sat there like this. And they said, thank you very much.
With her tail between her legs, Erika made her way to her agent's office.
And he said, oh, you had an audition this morning, I heard. And I said, yes, for One Life to Live. He said, that's great. What's the part? I said, I don't know. They didn't tell me. And then the phone rang, and then he hung up. And then he said, that was them. And I said, who's them? And he said, One Life to Live. And I said, really? He said, yes, they want you to play the part. But going through my mind was, oh my God, I have a job. Oh my God, I have to call my father.
Why is it we never appreciate anything until it's threatened?
On March 17, 1971, Erika Slezak made her television debut as Victoria Lord on the ABC soap opera One Life to Live.
I had never been on television in my life. I had done a lot of classical theater. I was used to big, huge gestures, big voice, lots of movement.
She had a lot to learn.
A lot of actors can't do it. You have to be able to memorize a great deal of material sometimes. You know, a night before you may have 20 or 30 pages of dialogue. You're up in the morning and you better be ready.
But Erika was not prepared for the cold reception by fellow cast members on her first day of work.
Everyone had said, oh, hi, who are you? And I said, I'm Erika Slezak. They said, really good, what are you playing? And I said, Vicky. No, you're not.
The cast had not been informed that Erika was replacing another actress as the new Victoria Lord.
The only people who had been alerted that there was a cast change were the man who played my father and the woman who played my sister. And they were so sweet, and they literally held me by the hand. It was like being Alice in Wonderland. I didn't know what was coming next.
My father was a very strong man, and he was determined to mold me into the kind of person that he wanted me to be.
Victoria Lord, or Vicky, as her fans would come to know her, was the daughter of a wealthy newspaper magnate.
I was never given a character breakdown. I was just told she's very wealthy and a wonderful woman, and everybody loves her, and she cares about everybody, and she's everybody's best friend, and she's like this superwoman.
She didn't seem to notice me, but then...
But Vicky had a deep, dark secret.
Hey, I've been waiting for you, honey.
She suffered from a split personality. Her alter ego was called Nikki Smith.
And I have more fun than you ever dreamt of in your wildest dreams.
Nikki is that part of her personality that if you isolated it would be just the opposite of Victoria. And so it's fun to play that.
Come on, pal, I got your number. You can skip all that nice guy routine with me.
Erika's characterization of a woman with a split personality was an instant hit. Critics and fans loved to watch her unravel.
I'd like to put this cigarette out right in your face.
Some said there were reflections of Erika in Nikki, her alter ego, and in Vicky.
Hello, sweetheart. I thought you might be here.
You meet her and you say, my goodness, this is a very, very classy, well-bred, old-fashioned good manners. And she also has this other side of her. You tell her a joke or a juicy bit of gossip, and this giggle comes out of her that carries down the hallway, you know, and you just go, oh.
In 1974, Erika's personal and professional lives crisscrossed when she shared a scene with her own father.
It was the only time I ever worked with my father. And to see him in that relationship gave me quite a different view of him, too. He was an actor. He was nervous. He was just a plain man.
In her father's eyes, Erika was beginning to come into her own.
And he said, what a wonderful job, Erika. This is a great thing you're doing.
He was proud of what I had accomplished, because he had seen me grow as an actress.
Coming up, Erika confuses her co-stars.
She was Nikki being Vicky, and of course I thought she was Vicky. It was Vicky.
And later, Erika takes home the trophies amid controversy.
The Emmy Awards became less about who won than why Susan Lucci didn't win.
As the daughter of world-famous actor Walter Slezak, Erika was determined to prove to her father that she too had the acting gene. In March 1971, after appearing in more than 20 plays in Midwest repertory theaters, she won a lead role as Victoria Lord on the ABC daytime drama One Life to Live. Her father was thrilled she had a full-time acting job.
My father said, "Oh, but thank God she has a job for 2 years." Because as an actor, you know that it can last a week or a day or 2 years.
Kevin Lord Riley.
Despite the steady work on television, Erika was reluctant to give up acting on stage, so she auditioned and won a part in an off-Broadway production of The Circle.
There's nothing like it to be live on stage.